A brief silence signals thoughtfulness, triggering a fluency bias like inference that the speaker is considering their words carefully. You walk into a job interview. The panel asks a tough question. You answer immediately, smooth, and quick. You feel great, but here is the problem. The people listening may trust you less than the candidate who paused for 2 seconds. This is not intuition. It is a published finding from a 2025 study at York University's Schulich School of Business. The study tested how listeners perceive speakers based on response timing, and the results were counterintuitive. Speed did not signal competence, it signaled rehearsed behavior. The pause signaled thoughtfulness, and in high-stakes settings like interviews, that perception gap can determine who gets hired. The study, published in the journal Organizational Behavior and Human Decision Processes, found that brief pauses under 3 seconds actually increase perceived trustworthiness. Why? Because the silence invites the listener to fill the gap with small verbal nods like yeah or aha. That tiny engagement makes the speaker seem more collaborative and helpful. The listener feels included in the thinking process rather than being spoken at. That subtle shift transforms a monologue into a dialogue, and the speaker is rated higher on warmth, honesty, and competence. But here is the twist. The same pause, if it stretches just a few seconds too long, flips the effect. A 2021 meta-analysis from the American Psychological Association, covering over 500 participants, found that delayed responses of even a few seconds are consistently rated as less sincere. The brain interprets hesitation as doubt or deception. Listeners are wired to detect unnatural gaps. A pause that feels organic signals thought, a pause that feels forced signals evasion. The difference is measured in milliseconds, but the social consequence is enormous. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Speech, Language, and Hearing Research confirmed that speech with added pauses is more likely to be perceived as deceptive. Listeners instinctively associate hesitation with lying, even when the pause is just a natural part of thinking. The brain does not distinguish between a thoughtful pause and a deceptive one based on intent. It reacts to the delay itself. This means that even an honest person who naturally pauses while formulating thoughts can be judged unfairly. The perception is automatic, not rational. So the quiet trick is a razor-thin line. Under 3 seconds you seem thoughtful. Over that, you seem guarded. But there is another layer. In tense moments, a deliberate 3-second pause can actually interrupt defensive thinking and foster cooperation. That finding comes from research cited in the Journal of Applied Psychology. The pause acts as a circuit breaker for the brain's fight-or-flight response. It gives both parties a moment to step back from emotional reactivity and engage the prefrontal cortex, which handles reasoning and problem-solving. Imagine a negotiation. The other side makes a demand. Your instinct says fire back, but a 3-second pause gives your brain time to shift from defensive to deliberative mode. It breaks the automatic fight-or-flight loop and opens space for joint problem solving. Instead of escalating, you create a window for the other party to reconsider their position as well. The pause is not weakness, it is strategic restraint. In high-stakes talks, the person who controls the rhythm of silence often controls the outcome. MIT researcher Jared Curhan, who worked on one of these studies, noted that silence is rarely used to intimidate. Instead, it gives people time to prepare better arguments and find creative solutions. The goal is not to win a tug-of-war, it is to expand the pie so both sides gain. This reframes negotiation from combat to collaboration. A pause signals that you are not rushing to claim value, but are genuinely interested in creating value. That perception shift can turn adversaries into partners. The research suggests a sweet spot of 3 to 9 seconds. Longer than that, and the pause can feel unbearable for people conditioned to fill gaps. But in some cultures, like Japan, prolonged silences during negotiations are standard practice. Even 20 minutes of silence can signal agreement. This reveals that the pause is not a universal signal. Its meaning is shaped by cultural norms. What builds trust in one context can create suspicion in another. The effective range depends on who you are speaking with and what they expect. The Dutch, by contrast, feel unsettled after just a 4-second pause. and English speakers generally tolerate only 1 to 2 seconds of silence before discomfort creeps in. The same pause that builds trust in one culture can damage it in another. This means that the quiet trick is not a one-size-fits-all technique. You have to calibrate based on your audience. In fast-paced, direct cultures, even a 3-second pause can feel awkward. In reflective, high-context cultures, it feels respectful. Knowing this difference is the difference between connecting and alienating. But what about fast talkers? People who answer instantly often come across as rehearsed or dismissive. The York study found that quick responses make listeners feel cut off. A short pause signals, "I am actually thinking about what you just said." That small gesture builds rapport because it communicates respect. The listener feels that their question mattered enough to warrant genuine consideration. In contrast, an instant reply can feel like a pre-programmed script, regardless of how accurate or intelligent the content actually is. The mechanism is cognitive. When you pause, you give the listener's brain time to process your statement and react. That reaction, a nod, a yeah, creates a feedback loop. They feel involved and you feel trusted. The conversation becomes cooperative rather than competitive. This is not manipulation. It is the natural rhythm of engaged dialogue. When both parties are given space to respond, the exchange becomes richer and more productive. The pause is not empty. It is an active part of communication. Think about customer service calls. Agents who pause briefly get higher satisfaction ratings because customers feel heard. In leadership, a short pause before answering a difficult question signals composure and confidence. The quiet trick is not manipulation. It is a signal of emotional regulation. Leaders who rush answers are often seen as reactive or anxious. Those who pause are seen as deliberate and steady. That perception can shape team morale, trust in decisions, and even organizational culture over time. But many people avoid pausing because they fear it makes them look uncertain. That fear is exactly backward. Research shows that the listener's brain interprets a short pause as careful thought, not ignorance. The people who appear most trustworthy are often those who take a beat before speaking. They are perceived as measured and intentional. This is especially important in public speaking or media appearances, where every second is scrutinized. A well-placed pause can make a statement land with far more impact than a rapid-fire delivery. A key nuance: the pause must be natural. A forced, theatrical pause can feel manipulative or creepy. The research focuses on organic hesitations, the kind that happen when you are genuinely considering what to say next. Intentional but authentic is the difference. If the pause is too long or accompanied by nervous body language, it backfires. The listener senses performance rather than thought. So the skill is not just pausing, it is pausing while maintaining relaxed eye contact and an open posture. That combination signals honesty. What about in conflict? A deliberate 3-second pause can stop an argument from escalating. It gives both parties time to cool down and rethink. The Journal of Applied Psychology study found that this interruption of defensive thinking leads to more mutually beneficial outcomes. In heated moments, the pause acts as a reset button. It prevents the verbal cascade that turns disagreement into personal attack. Instead, it redirects energy toward understanding and resolution. This is one of the most underused tools in conflict resolution. In everyday life, this trick applies to everything from family discussions to team meetings. The next time someone asks a question, count 2 seconds before answering. Notice how they lean in. Notice how the conversation deepens. The pause is not empty space, it is invitation. It says, "I value your question enough to think about it." That simple gesture can transform a surface-level exchange into a meaningful connection. The effect compounds over time, building a reputation as someone who listens before speaking. So here is the quiet trick. Under 3 seconds, you seem trustworthy. Over that, you seem deceptive. In conflict, 3 seconds can interrupt defensiveness. And in any conversation, a short pause invites collaboration. The research is clear. The threshold is precise. And the most powerful thing you can say is sometimes nothing at all. The science of trust is not about eloquence, it is about timing. A 2-second gap is not a weakness. It is a signal that you are present, thoughtful, and worth listening to. Next time you feel the pressure to fill the silence, count to 2 and watch. Trust is not built with speed, but with the space you leave between your words.